can I have that one? Yeah, that's good. Bésame, women pescadores, Adam, amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Good morning to everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you to our brother Teddy. He gave an invitation through my wife. I wish, I know they can hear me, I wish Keskinder and Abba Tekla Hamanot told me that there was a wedding today, even if it's not somebody from America and somebody from Ethiopia, even if it's Ethiopian people. It's very rare that we have weddings in the Boston area, so congratulations to both of you. That's wonderful, especially to be the first in this church. And I'm kind of selfish about this church. If you see, we don't have a big congregation. We're really lucky. Well, on one hand, you're not lucky because you need a congregation to have a big church. But at the same time, you have a very social, personal experience when you come to Kedanamaret. We have another church in Boston called Mariam Church, which is kind of funny because Mariam is here and Mariam is there. It's another small church where you just feel comfortable. And there's always a lot of food, especially this church too. You'll see after church, there's plenty of food. I don't know, something about Mariam, she's always feeding her children, so thanks to God for that. But I was told by my wife that our brother Zemikael, he was studying before the marriage, they make you study about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Just for simple things, Ethiopian Orthodox Church to me and to history is like the oldest Christian church. If you see in the Bible, Saint Philip baptized the Ethiopian eunuch who came. And the reason the Ethiopian eunuch came was to give money to the temple, because the Ethiopians used to be Jewish, they still gave tithing to the temple. But when he came, he was reading the Bible, and the Bible was teaching about Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit told St. Philip, go and talk to this Ethiopian. We have one book called the Ethiopian, no, it's not called the Ethiopian, it's called the Orthodox Study Bible. I recommend you get this book, because at the bottom of the book, it's the whole Bible, but at the bottom it gives explanation, like secrets, that all the Holy Fathers have learned from the Holy Spirit, from God, about why did St. Philip go, and why was the Ethiopian man reading that part of the Bible? It gives you more insight. But anyway, that Ethiopian man got baptized and went back to Ethiopia, and he told people about Jesus Christ. But the country did not become Christian at that time. It was like, what I've been told is it was a small portion of the country became Christian, but they identified as Christian. So, as you see, the Ethiopians were like the first country. I always like to say it was Israel, but a lot of people say no, because how could it not be Israel? Israel was the first people that Jesus walked around and talked to. So I figured, but people say, no, it's Ethiopian. But I don't know, Ethiopian people say that about a lot of stuff. they like to say, we are Ethiopian. Anyway, I hope I see, usually on the screen, we have in English and in Amharic and in Giz, you can watch and you can at least read. When I started coming to the church in 1992, we didn't have any screens. And we didn't even have this book. We had the book, but it was people in New York had this book. So this is the liturgy in Amharic and English and in phonetic Giz. So you can even talk like Abba and the deacons and like Keskinder. And it's nice because once you learn the rhythm of the chanting and the liturgy, it makes everything go quicker. When I first started coming to church, the men really weren't that many, and they didn't really follow the church that much as the women. God bless the women. They are more spiritually stronger. Even though all the priests are men and the deacons are men, outside here was the ladies. So every time they did the part where they say, Ixio Maharna Christos, they're bowing, and I always liked that part. I always knew also that church was almost finished, because our church is about, well, today it will only be maybe 3 hours long, but if you come for like Kidanamuret, you might be here. I know Keskinder used to bring me to church at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and we won't leave until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So some people ask me, like, how long, where were you? I was in church. When did it start? 2 o'clock. Oh, in the afternoon? In the morning. When did it finish? Oh, like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're in church for 12 hours? Yeah, 12 hours. But at the same time, the spirit of the Ethiopian church is so nice, you know, and I actually enjoy not knowing what they're saying a lot of times. I grew up as Roman Catholic, and it just seemed like too much like a memorization and repetition. So I enjoyed coming and hearing my wife's language, but sometimes I get frustrated. But you're lucky you have nice people like Daraje and Nati. I know Daraje here, he says he doesn't speak on English, but I always get mad at these guys when they say, oh, I don't really speak English. And I'm like, where do you work? What country do you work in? Oh, I work in America. So how you don't speak English? Like, how do you live here and not speak? I don't know. I disagree sometimes. Anyway, there's one story I always tell real quick. And sometimes the people laugh, sometimes they don't, which is kind of fun because I like sometimes when they don't get it. But there was a man, and he went shopping. And when he went to the mall, there was no parking. Everywhere was full. So he's driving around. And he finally prays to God. He says, God, if you give me a parking spot right now, I will go to church every Sunday. And immediately, the car was moving out. And the man said, oh, forget it. So basically, I like to say, God bless you all, because you come here every Sunday, or you enjoy coming to church because you just like church. You don't have to promise God, I will come if you do something for me. You know that He's doing things for us all the time. So I'm very happy that you had communion, and please keep trying. Our communion is difficult because you have to do fasting before communion, but our teaching is that's like, sometimes when you go to the hospital, you have to do fasting before the operation. So the medicine works really quick, or it's in your body is like pure. So that's one of the teachings the fathers told me, why we fast before communion, so the body and blood of Christ goes in your body, and it's like an instant boost. Not like like we all had to get the boost, the coronavirus. This is the second time I've been in church for 2 years, so I really miss you guys. But my wife always does Gadase on the phone, so in the laptop, so she always keeps me in the spirit. She wakes up my son, but that's just a compromise. Anyway, I hope they introduce more English sometimes. We're really getting a lot more English in the church. When we were in Boston, we would do the mezmors, the chants in English and in Giz or Amharic. And in New York and New Jersey, they have like English-speaking churches, which again, I really don't enjoy sometimes because for some reason I like to hear the Amharic and the Giz. But please keep coming, please keep asking questions. That's the only way you get all the answers. And you'll never get all the answers because there's so much stuff in this church. But whatever answers you get, you have to decide. Because I ask one priest the same question to another priest, you get different answers. So you have to go with your heart too, you know. But anyway, I forget, how do I say? Nkwane Namatachu? That means like welcome. So welcome you guys, and thank you very much. God bless you.
Amen.